Hopefully I can do this. I have laryngitis, so I don't know how long my voice will last. But I don't know if you can see, but I'm at the beach, and it's a more than halfway. It's like waiting gibbous or something, or yeah, it's one of those. It's getting on the full side of the moon. But can you picture yourself living like this, where there's no power? I mean, right now we have power, electricity, and even though they're high prices, we have food. But if a EMP hit, or if we lost power because the grid goes down, which they're warning because they don't have enough diesel or electricity to get through the winter, which is what Europe is going to have to deal with. But are you prepared? Are you prepared to live? And because we don't know what's ahead, there's going to be a lot of chaos. There's going to be a lot of blame and finger pointing from both sides, if you know who I'm talking about. And they're going to blame each other. Thing is they want us divided. They want us to point the finger at each other and not on them. These people are some of the most sinful, lying people we've ever had. We live in a time, in my opinion, well, I think it's going to get worse, but we're definitely in a time of Noah, where we're sleeping with everything, where we're messing with all kinds of stuff. We're messing with CRISPR. I mean, it's putting fetuses in our vaccines, our so-called vaccines that aren't worth a damn. Sorry. But yeah, these vaccines I've watched. I'm going to get thrown out because of it. Well, I'm gonna keep going. We'll see what happens. But but because of this, many people are not going to make it. But are you prepared for the dark days ahead? And because not only that, it's God's judgment is coming down. God is through with the U.S. You may come at me, but I've heard multiple people say that we are sinful. We're worse than Babylon ever was. I mean, we have the Jezebel spirit, and the Jezebel spirit is one of selfishness, of extravagance and vanity and and vainglory and all this. And we definitely have it. People want their expensive stuff and own way of doing things, and they support their friends, which are all rich or high society kind of people, and there's no one really helping the poor people that truly need it because they live and are shunned and put in places that you can't see them. They're off the main track. I mean, they get rid of them, which is really sad. We spend billions of dollars on worthless elections that don't mean a darn thing. We know now that they more than likely have rigged them. We have evidence and things pointing to that. But we need to, as a group of people, to come back together to find ways of working with one another and getting over these petty squabbles. Quit trying to voice your opinion. There's a bigger battle going on, and it's basically good versus evil. It's about right and wrong, and it's about the Bible. Do you stand for the Bible or do you not? There's a lot of people that claim to know God and don't really know God. I mean, do you know what the Bible says? Have you picked up the Bible within the last week? Or maybe even the last few days? If not, I would suggest going to pick it up. But, so, because God's judgment's falling, and the day of judgment is, well, it's not really a day. I mean, 1,000 years can be a single day. But the U.S. is under judgment because of how filthy and how wrong we are. This was once a good, great nation that was built on Christian values, and we have lost our way. But in the Bible, it does refer to this time, and it says to run for the hills when you see the what is it? The abomination of desolation or whatever, basically staying in the holy place. So what she's about to, well, I don't know if she's about to do it, but there are people already in power that are part of the beast system. And they're on purposely making our currency go bye-bye. I don't know if you realize it, but what do you do if you want to install something new? You cause the old one to fail. And that's what's happening. You can see that our distribution centers are being destroyed right and left. You can see that chickens and turkeys, under the auspices of avian influenza, which who knows if that's right or not. But our dollar is about to go up in flames, and that's been prophesized. So what happens when that happens? Are you prepared to feed your family? Are you prepared to go into the woods and live off the land? Well, I mean, there's not very many places you can do that, and you're going to probably have to fight others. I mean, I would try to come up with a plan and ask God for direction. I mean, I'm kind of putting things in place, but I don't know if it'll come true or not. I mean, God did lead me to a passage in Ezekiel where it says that God will take his people out of the places where they are and put them in places where he can protect them. And he will provide for them. And if you think that you're one of these people and still drinking or still fornicating or doing this, then you're not part of this remnant. Sorry to be blatant, but if you think it's by grace alone that you're saved and then you can do whatever the heck you want and you're still able to go to heaven, put it this way, if our kid did that to you, if they basically said, oh, well, no matter what happens, you're going to still love me and whatever, and they ran you over and drank and did all kinds of bad things and ran off in the middle of the night and did things that you found appalling, what would you do? You would kick them out, or you would try to find a way of helping them. You really think God sorry. You really think God's going to accept people into heaven when they're disobeying what He has given them? Um, and this is gonna. I mean, this is a time where we also got to choose either this world and the worldly things or Him. And this is also a time where those that have a lot and they're going to lose it all. I mean, they may own a lot of money, a lot of land, whatever. Tomorrow they may own nothing. Um, I think it's like Agenda 21, but there's groups right now. They're buying up all the land, right and left. They want us to be in these city groupings, or I don't know what you would call them. They don't want you to live off the land. They don't want you to be self-sufficient. They want you to have everything provided by them, even though it may be meager. They're going to control everything. They're going to get people to rat people out. Like, I don't know if you've seen, but in China they're already doing this, where they have surveillance cameras everywhere, and they work on a system where you get, if you tell others of what they're doing wrong and you report them, you get more rewards, and you get the chance to go to travel and do different things. So they make it very lucrative, and that's coming here. um, I've been shown by many of prophets that the U.S. is going down, and China and Russia are going to move in, and that we're going to be taken away. And actually, I don't remember if it's Revelation 13 or 18. It's where it talks about Babylon, and it basically says that you will be captive and move to a place where you don't understand the language. Sorry, this laryngitis kind of stinks, but I'm trying to get through this. But I mean, our country is going to fall apart, and it's going to be on purpose. There's going to be nuclear bombs going off. There's going to be, and that's only on the human side. There's also the God side, where God has told, I don't know when it'll happen. I've been given visions of a wave. I've been given seen things about a tsunami hitting New York and nuclear bombs going off in various places. I've seen visions, or I haven't seen visions, but I've watched others. Quite a few have said that Yellowstone will go up. If that happens, we will be plunged into darkness, and everyone anywhere close will be dead. It will be like, I can't remember if they said 50 or 100 megaton bombs going off at once. And if you breathe in the coal ash, it basically cements in your lungs and you die instantly. Doesn't sound like a fun way to die. But I know this is a lot of really very bad stuff. But you're gonna have to be very sly and sneaky. In my case, I can't hurt people. I mean, in the Bible it says that we're not supposed to hurt or hinder or do anything wrong. However, most people will be starving and do everything and anything that they can to get food and whatever, and they don't care if they run you over. And this includes your own family or friends. They're going to turn on you, so be aware. But I would strongly find a place where you can get away, where and you'll, I mean, I would pack not just a go bag. I would pack containers. Mine are already in containers. All I have to do is throw it in the back of my SUV and I'm off. Thankfully, I'm in a place where where I can get to the woods pretty, I don't know, one way or another I'll get there. But then you have to be able to um, find food. You have to know what is around you. If you have first aid, that's great. If you don't, then you're going to have to figure out what plants around you are helpful and which ones will kill you. Poison ivy is not good. We also have poison sumac and poison hemlock that will both kill you. Nightshade is another one. Kind of looks like a purple shooting flower that looks like kind of like a shooting star. That's nightshade. If you live around here, you also have critters. We have coyote, black bear, bobcat aren't really a problem, but they are here. Then you have snakes and spiders, and all these guys can be an issue. Like I'm at a cottage, and there are definitely bears here. The last time I was here a couple of weeks ago, I heard something in the middle of the night, woke up, and a bear was going along the back end of our property. And I found this out because there are two large dumps as well as tracks. So I do know he was here. Bears will go the other way. And if they have other food sources, they'll go after them. But if you have human food and they can get to it, they're going to. Doors don't mean anything to them. They will knock them down. And a gun, I mean, I'll probably go get bear sprayers somewhere if getting rid of them. A gun won't do it. Even if you put a bullet in their head, they'll take their paw and knock you dead. They can actually hit you one time with their paw and take your head off. But most of the time, bears will go the other way. But just get out of their way. They can also run 30 miles an hour. And for a little while, so you can't outrun them. They can climb trees, so you're kind of SOL. However, if you're in a forest, you can put things between you and hope for the best. This time of the year, they can come out in Florida because there's not really true hibernation. But the bears most of the time will go after plants and that type of thing. However, if the grid and everything goes down, that means that trash that also goes down. So if you have a pile of garbage, I would advise you to put it way away from your house or whatever you're potentially living in, because more than likely you're going to attract critters that way. However, sorry, in a survival situation, that may be a good place to get critters. If you can put something out there and bait them, that would be a great way to take down whatever comes the way. Be very cautious though. Reptiles, I don't think carry rabies, or amphibians don't carry rabies. Birds carry other things like avian influenza and others, but I wouldn't kill anything that, like a crow or vulture. They're scavengers, so they can pick up harmful stuff. However, if you want to kill a duck, go right ahead. If you want to kill other birds, that may be a good way of getting sustenance. but mammals are your biggest issue. Um, Things that carry rabies are your skunks, your foxes, coyotes, bats somewhat, but bats aren't going to be on the land. Um, I think other things do carry it, but there are five main carriers were bats, coyotes, skunk, raccoon, and fox. Those were five main that I was told in wildlife biology. So, but you'll have to build shelters and live in the dark. So you're going to have, you can't see it, but I have it was $15. It's a solar powered flashlight. That's pretty good. And actually, you can see it. I've got it's like lucid light or whatever, and it has LEDs and everything on it. It's a pretty cool little thing, and you can blow it up, and so it's actually waterproof. Don't know how long it lasts or how well it does. But it's a pretty good size. I mean, it gives off a lot of light. I'm sitting here in the dark, obviously. So, but I would get pieces that are going to help you out, like a knife, a hatchet, first aid kit, food, matches, striker. Um, I mean, you'll need cleaning stuff. Basically, I mean, you got to go through the list. It's like, okay, you're going to have some kind of light, so you're going to have extra batteries for it. And the thing is one day all this stuff may run out. And I don't think people have taken that into consideration. We're at the end of our lives. And I do believe that the harpazo, if we're lucky enough, God will take us home. But we should not count on that. Right now, there's a lot of different false prophets and false teachings going on right now. And they're misleading a lot of people. The prosperity gospel is crap. The once saved is always saved is crap. There's not a whole lot of religions that go to heaven. That's crap. There's only God. He is your one and only way to go, and his son Yeshua, also known as Jesus Christ, is his one and only son, and that is the only way to God, and that's also the only way to heaven. If you all the others, and I'm not going to attack the others. I mean, I've actually tried to look at that, and it's like put myself in those situations, and it's like, okay, well, I know a lot of them. If they try to switch out of the religion, they lose everything, and I do mean everything. The family excommunicates them, and they kick them out instantly, and so these people have nothing. However, it's not as bad if you're already on your own, but if you're relying on them fully, then it's a lot harder. But I mean, eventually you're going to have to figure out a way of making light without having flashlights. You're going to have to figure out ways of catching things. There are ways of making spears with sticks. I mean, you can sharpen up the points and use it's an atlatl, and basically it's if you have a throwing mechanism on like a stick, like if you're kind of launching a spear, so basically the spear is hanging out and you have another attachment basically on the end of the spear, and you're basically, it's kind of like if I don't know if you've ever seen it, the dog thrower, and it's kind of like that type of deal where the thrower is on the end of a spear, and you're basically holding both, and it's able to launch it a lot further and faster. But that is a way of moving stuff. Um, but we're not meant to get through this time. Um, God is going to put the hurt on this whole entire world. Everything will be laid desolate and wasteland. There'll be tsunamis and earthquakes that will. I think it was when he was entering the temple, and he basically said, "Not one stone will be left on another." That's pretty major because, I mean, just imagine I'm in a cottage. I don't know if you can see out, but but nothing will be left um, unless God wants to protect it because His people are inside of it and living in it. But if you don't have God during this time, you're going to be starving to death, and you're going to be doing things that you never thought that you would do. Like, I hate to be bad, but I mean, it's been prophesied that the people will turn to cannibalism. In other words, eating each other, killing everything around them, including their own pet, eating grubs and worms and grass, and people will be so desperate with water, they'll drink anything. um, and the demons will be visible, as what I've been kind of hinted on. Um, when God's wrath is here, I mean, He's going to allow the demons to become visible. And they're already here. It's just a matter of we can't see them yet. And also the Nephilim will come back. Well, they're already here. It's just a matter of they're being hidden now. And also giants are being hidden. Yes, there are giants. Look it up. There are pictures on Questioning Everything. It's a Facebook group. He does a good job and showing different things that have been hidden from us. But there are others. But I pray that you do seriously consider the dark times ahead. And the only way that you're going to make it is by looking to Yeshua or Jesus Christ. For those of us that choose God, if you deny God, then He will deny you. And many people will be put in a situation where basically they say, "Oh, well, if you deny God right here, we'll spare your life." And and the guy said, "Oh, well, I deny God," and the guy still got shot and he went to hell, and that was prophesied. So, sadly, I mean, during this time, many people are going to fall away because there's going to be many false prophets and false teaching and so much stress and anxiety and so many different things going on. The great falling away hasn't happened yet because right now there's a lot of people that claim they're Christian and don't hold to the values. However, if when push comes to shove, they will lose their faith and go the way of Cain. So, do you have a strong faith? Do you rely on the Bible and God? I would strongly advise going to God. If you're lukewarm, I would go to God. If you choose the other way, you're basically sealing your fate. I know for me, I've already chosen. I don't care what I have to go through. I mean, I'm reading. It's like the 54 book Apocrypha, but it goes into detail about these end times. I mean, it's pretty bad. We will be tortured, and basically it'll be in front of the Antichrist and his other people, and laughed at and scorned and mocked, and we will be jailed for 10 days. But it says, take heart because God will speak through us. So, sorry, I'm coughing. I'm just having fits, but I'm trying to get through this. I know this is not a bright and freely, or whatever. I don't know what you call it. It's a video that's being serious because we're on the verge of collapse. I personally believe that our voting is going to be altered. I think those that should have gotten voted in are not going to be voted in. It's going to tick off a lot of people. The news media is going to pit people against each other and cause people to hate one another. Put it this way: is it easier to take down one person, or is it easier to take down a group of people? It's a lot easier to go after one individual. So they want us as um, unattached to everyone else as we can be. Um, I would advise getting away from this crazy chaos and um, getting out and asking God what He wants. That's what I'm doing at the beach. I'm going through the Bible, praying, reading, doing videos like I am doing now, and I'm seeking God because I mean that's the only way that I know how to live. Yes, I've given up a lot. 2 years ago, I had a eye-opening. I was listening to videos and found out I was not going the right way. And basically, God said that if you don't turn from your ways, you're going to hell. So from that moment, I shut off the TV, got rid of it. I have not gone to any movies. I've shut them off. Much of what we watch is secular, demonically controlled, making us think and act a certain way. TV is a demonic device made to push an agenda and propaganda. And I would not trust anyone. I do not trust anyone around. The only person I do trust is God. Research everything. Watch your back. Be very observant of the world around you. If someone looks suspicious and trying to follow you, do some crazy things and get away from there. Go down alleys and just shake the tail, if you will. Sorry, but you're also, if you're in the woods, you're going to have to cover your tracks and learn how to not cause people to look on you, like make it like right now, if I turned on lights and stuff, people would know I'm here. But without any lights, no one knows I'm here. So you gotta think differently. You gotta think, okay, well, however, the bad thing is there's a lot of technology out there that can pick up heat signatures. They can look in a building and see everything in the building. But God will protect us. I believe that God will have whatever He wants to have happen. He knows everything that's going to happen. We may not understand anything that's going on, but He knows every single step that each and every single one of us will make. And if we go to Him, He will. It's like having a internal computer, if you will. You know how that the GPS unit says turn right at the next stop sign, then go 300 mile or 300 feet down, and then make a left at blah blah blah, and then look for the house on the right. Well, He's our internal. He tells us what is good, what is bad, which way to go. However, sin can come in and muddle or muffle him, and we've got to get sin out of our lives. We got to reconnect and reconnect to Him, and that we do that by praying. We do that by reading His Word and just being with Him, getting away from the cities. Um, but thank you for joining me. I'm just trying to give you food for thought. Um, but we are entering a dark time. Well, not entering. I mean, I saw the dark clouds coming in a dream like over a year ago. We're in judgment time, and we're about to be punished. Um, if you stay in cities, there will be, well, there already is surveillance all around, and people are going to be very suspicious and go after each other. So, if you think that what we're in is bad, this is only the very, very, very tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more where that came from. This is good. Right now, it's gonna make it look like a cakewalk compared to the plagues and pestilences and nuclear bombs going off and radiation in the air. And there's also a number of things where the seas turn to bitterness or turn bitter. There are asteroids and tsunamis that are thousands of feet tall. So this is a time where if you don't have God, you're dead. Well, you're not dead, but you're going to have a very hard time. Just try to with this time. I would ask that you would, well, one, absolutely go to God with this. See if what I'm telling is true or if I'm full of crap. But I would strongly suggest getting what you need and putting it in bins and getting ready to run like heck. Or if you can stay in your house, I mean, that's a possibility. However, there may be a mob coming down the street and they may try to knock down your house and demand whatever you have inside. So, and in my opinion, it's not worth a gunshot. I'm not going to kill anyone. I trying to make a plan now. And don't count on the rapture. I've looked at the rapture, and there's things that, on one hand, point to pre-trib. On the other hand, they point to other parts. So, and then you also, then you got to know where you sit with God. So, so don't count on that, please. Be ready for whatever, and please go to God. He still loves us. He's not gonna go, oh well, you're too bad for me. God loves us without anything, and I'm not trying to put the guilt on or anything. I have to look at being left behind as well. I've had dreams. I've had many a rapture dream. I've had, I think, 5 or 6. A few of them I was left behind because of things I was doing. I was playing games and on dating websites and things I shouldn't have been doing. And then there were other times where I've had some good weird, and then I've had some weird rapture dreams where one of them, just to give you a funny little whatever. I was raptured and I could see the Earth leaving and kind of going through the galaxy, and I I ended up on this Lego Lego planet, I guess you could call it, and everything was moving, and it was kind of funny. But it's but there are times when I blow it big time, like I grumble and stumble and I gossip and get caught up in the world. Then there's other times it's like, oh yeah, I'm doing great, and blah blah blah. And that's all of us. I mean, there are times when when we can sustain doing the right thing and whatever, and then as time goes on, and the battle, you're still in the battle, and you're still doing this. Um, you, I mean, it wears you down, and you're going, okay, well, I'm slipping, and you go back to the things that used to be fun. You go back to things that, um, and then you have a guilt trip after that point. So, but um, but yes, go to God. Please make a right relationship with Him. I mean, He wants you home. I mean, He doesn't care what you've done or where you've gone. He wants all of us home. We would just stop being so stinking stubborn and wanting and demanding all of our toys and stuff that means nothing. I mean, if your life ended right now, and let's just throw it as a hypothetical, what if you went to heaven and basically none of it went with you? You would have to start all over. So, what is the point in having all the stuff that you have right now? Your big fancy house, your cars, your ATV, UTV, boats, kayaks. I mean, trophy wives. Um, I mean, what of all that goes with you? Um, if your wife is on the right way, and she'll be in heaven with you, but all your toys and stuff, they're not gonna make it. So so we need to look at our stuff differently. We need to use it as tools and not toys. We need to use it as means of helping others and being there for others, and not as a way to. I mean, yes, there are times when we should have fun and kind of kick back and whatever, but if your toys are demanding that you monitor and watch them constantly, and you're fretting about who's going to steal what and when, then they've become more to you. They've become idols instead of these decaying objects, if you will. So, alrighty. I thank you for joining me. I don't know what the screen will be like, but I am looking out on a porch in moonlight, so hoping Mr. Bear doesn't show up tonight, but we'll see what happens. Thank you for joining me. Take care and God bless.